Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're talking about something that literally affects every single cell in your body, something you probably don't think about enough, even though you do it multiple times a day. I'm talking about hydration, more specifically, what actually happens to your body and your brain when you're not drinking enough water. And trust me, the research on this is way more interesting and kind of alarming than you might think. Let's start with some real numbers. Dehydration is highly prevalent among older adults, with reported prevalence rates in the United States ranging from 17 to 28%. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's just older people, I'm fine. But here's the thing. Older individuals are 20 to 30% more prone to developing dehydration, which means younger people aren't immune. We're just better at compensating for it until we're not. And here's what caught my attention. Dehydration is a significant contributor to global hospital admissions and poor health outcomes. We're not talking about a minor inconvenience here. So what exactly is dehydration? Simply put, it's when your body loses more water than you're taking in. Body water is lost through the skin, lungs, kidneys, and gastrointestinal tract. You're constantly losing water just by existing, by breathing, by sweating, even when you're sitting still doing nothing. And when you don't replace that water adequately, things start to go wrong. Sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, but they go wrong. Now let's talk about what most people care about, how dehydration messes with your brain. This is where it gets really interesting. Being dehydrated by just 2% impairs performance in tasks that require attention, psychomotor, and immediate memory skills. 2%? That's roughly 3 pounds of water loss in a 150-pound person. That's nothing. You could lose that just from a workout or being outside on a hot day and never even realize it. The brains of dehydrated adults show signs of increased neuronal activation when performing cognitively engaging tasks, indicating that their brains are working harder than normal to complete the task. Think about that. Your brain is literally having to work overtime to do the same thing. It could do easily when properly hydrated. It's like trying to run your computer with half the RAM. Sure, it'll still work, but everything takes longer and requires more effort. And that manifests as fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and changes in mood. A meta-analysis looking at 33 studies with 413 participants found something pretty specific. Tasks of executive function, attention, and motor coordination were significantly impaired after dehydration. And impairment was greater for studies, reporting more than 2% body mass loss. So we're talking about your ability to focus, make decisions, coordinate your movements. All of that takes a hit. And in today's world, where so many of us work jobs that require mental clarity and sustained attention, that's a pretty big deal. But it's not just cognitive performance. The mood effects are consistent across studies too. Research has shown that mild dehydration increases feelings of fatigue, confusion, anger, and even anxiety. Dehydration raises cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, which means you might feel more anxious or overwhelmed than usual, without even understanding why. You might just think you're having an off day when really, you just need a glass of water. Here's where I want you to hit that like button if you're finding this useful, because we're about to get into the longer-term consequences, and this is stuff you definitely need to know. Let's talk about what chronic underhydration does to your body over time. The risk of developing urinary tract infections, renal stones, dental cavities, and constipation increases due to dehydration. These aren't just minor annoyances. Kidney stones are excruciatingly painful and repeated. UTIs can lead to more serious kidney problems. Prolonged and repeated bouts of dehydration can cause urinary tract infections, kidney stones, and even kidney failure. Your kidneys need adequate water to filter waste from your blood effectively. Without it, they're basically trying to do their job with one hand, tied behind their back. And then there's the cardiovascular system. Your blood is mostly water. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, more viscous. This means your heart has to work harder to pump it through your body. Over time, this increased workload on your cardiovascular system isn't doing you any favors. Dehydration has been linked with urological, gastrointestinal, circulatory, and neurological disorders. Here's something a lot of people don't realize: the brain is around 75% water, making it particularly sensitive to dehydration. And when I say sensitive, I mean even mild fluid loss can have measurable effects. Studies using brain imaging have shown that dehydration causes physical changes in the brain. One study found that the ventricular system, The fluid-filled spaces in your brain actually expands when you're dehydrated. These structural changes correlate with those short-term declines in cognitive performance we talked about earlier. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'll just drink when I'm thirsty. Problem solved, right? Not quite. Here's the catch: thirst is actually a pretty late-stage indicator of dehydration. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already experiencing the effects. Many people, mainly older adults, don't feel thirsty until they're dehydrated. And this problem gets worse as we age because the brain's thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive over time. So what's the actual recommendation? Adults are generally encouraged to consume between 2 and 3 liters of water daily, though individual needs vary based on activity level, climate, and other factors. For reference, that's about 8 to 12 cups of water per day. Now I know that sounds like a lot, especially if you're someone who maybe drinks a cup or 2 a day and calls it good. But remember, you're also getting water from food, especially fruits and vegetables, and other beverages count too. The water should be your primary source. Let me give you some practical signs to watch for. Common symptoms of dehydration are dry mouth or tongue, thirst, headache, and lethargy. Your urine color is actually one of the best indicators. If it's dark yellow or amber, you need more water. Healthy, well-hydrated urine should be light straw-colored or almost clear. Dehydration slows digestion and makes stools harder, leading to constipation and discomfort. So if you're dealing with digestive issues, hydration might be part of the solution. And look, I get it. Modern life is busy. You're working, dealing with a million things, and stopping to drink water feels like just one more thing on an endless to-do list. But here's the reality. Adequate hydration isn't optional for optimal functioning. It's fundamental. Every system in your body depends on water. Your circulatory system, your digestive system, your nervous system, all of them need adequate fluid to work properly. The interesting thing is that our bodies are actually pretty good at maintaining fluid balance. When we give them what they need, your body has sophisticated mechanisms involving hormones and kidney function to regulate water and electrolyte balance. But those systems can only do so much. They're designed to handle normal fluctuations, not chronic underhydration. Here's something worth noting. Certain groups are at higher risk. We already mentioned older adults, but children are also particularly vulnerable. Infants and young children lose fluids quickly through fever, vomiting, or diarrhea, and they can't always communicate their thirst or get water for themselves. If you have kids, monitoring their hydration is important. Athletes and people who work outdoors obviously need more water because they're losing more through sweat. And if you're taking certain medications, particularly diuretics or blood pressure medications, you might need to be more conscious about your water intake. The good news? Rehydration works. Studies have shown that drinking water can improve cognitive performance and mood relatively quickly. One study found that water supplementation effectively enhanced cognitive performance, with effects visible even with small amounts of water intake. Your body wants to be hydrated. It wants to function properly. You just have to give it the tools to do that. So here's my challenge to you for the next week. Actually track how much water you're drinking. Get a water bottle, mark it with time goals throughout the day. Set reminders on your phone, whatever works for you. Pay attention to how you feel. Notice your energy levels, your ability to focus, your mood. I think you might be surprised at the difference adequate hydration makes. And if you found this information helpful, and you think it might help someone else who's maybe struggling with fatigue, brain fog, or just not feeling their best, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're covering health topics that actually matter, backed by real science. No gimmicks or miracle cures, just practical information that can genuinely improve your quality of life. Stay hydrated out there. Your brain and body will thank you.